Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about happiness. I'm going to explain how it works and why and how so many of us get it wrong and what we can do about it. And so make sure to watch until the end, as I will offer you a system that you can actually use to hopefully help you allow more happiness into your life. Here it goes. There's only one thing that really matters to us. There's only one thing that we care about. There's only one thing that we are all after. Regardless of who we are, regardless of our age, gender, education, culture, background, circumstances, or even belief, we human beings are only after one thing. That one thing is feelings. And I can demonstrate this easily with many examples. Material things, money as a start, is not something that we care about. We don't care about money. What we really care about is about how we feel when we have money, when we make money, when we count how much money we have in our bank account, when we use it, when we spend it, when we give it away. Money in and of itself has no inherent value. It doesn't have any energy. The energy that it brings is through the feelings that we have, thanks to what it allows us to experience. And so if we are struggling financially, for instance, money will bring us the feeling of safety and relief. Finally, I have money, I can pay my bills, I can look after my family until the next month, the next week, or the next time. But what we want, if we're struggling with money, is the feeling of safety and relief. If we're doing well financially, we're going to be after the feeling of abundance and freedom and possibilities. The more money I have, the more experiences I can have, the more things I can do, the more I can choose to live the life that I want the way I want to. It's the feeling of freedom and possibilities. And if we're altruistic, we're going to seek the feeling of connection. Because I have money, now I can help the people that I love. I can give money to charities that I care about. I can create some systems that will help me make this world a better place thanks to the money that I have. And so it's going to make me feel good because now I can give away and make a difference. And this is a great feeling to experience. And it's the same thing with people. We don't care about people. It sounds very harsh, but it's true. We only care about the feelings that we have when we are with certain people, when we're doing certain things with them, when we're thinking about them. Just like things, people have no inherent value. Their worth and value is only reflected in how they make us feel. And so this is easy to demonstrate. We all had relationships that were fantastic and very exciting at start. Everything was perfect and lovey-dovey. And yet, over time, it may be over days, months, years, or even decades, the magic is gone. The person is still here, but we're no longer happy. Why? Because the feeling is gone. So we want to break up, we want to divorce. We may stay together whilst hating each other. And so it was never about the person, it was about the feeling. We forgot that we were after a feeling that only happened when both persons' energy were aligned in this moment. And now that is gone, our happiness is gone as well. And this also applies with grief when we lose someone close to us. We suffer because we think that we miss the person, when in reality what we are missing is all of those opportunities to reenact and experience all those feelings that we used to have together again. We think that because they're gone, we can never experience those feelings again, and this is actually not true. And this goes the same with status. We seek status, but in reality, no one cares about status. What we really care about when we seek status is the feeling of being seen, of being accepted, of belonging to a tribe, of knowing that we are having a seat in society. Similar to status, success. Many of us want to win and have a lot of success, but we don't care about the success as such. What we care about is the feeling of satisfaction, achievement, reward. And it also goes the same with purpose. No one cares about purpose. We all have that understanding that we must have a purpose in this life. But in reality, what we want is the feeling that we're doing the right thing, that we're not going in the wrong direction, and that we are not wasting our life, not wasting our potential. And even when it comes to health, We don't care about health. Health is just a concept. It has no feeling. If you think about it, health is our state of normal, so we can't feel healthy. We do realize, however, when we are no longer healthy, when we are sick, or if we hurt ourselves. And from that moment onward, we're going to be obsessed with the journey of healing. And so we're after feeling better. We want to feel that we're getting better. We want to feel that we are suffering less and less every day, that we are more able and functional every day. And the moment we have healed, that's it. We forget about it and we take health for granted again. We're back into our lifestyle, no matter how healthy or unhealthy it may be. Now, of course, there are some exceptions. I'm not talking about having a cancer or surviving some serious accident. Those are life-altering moments. I'm talking about if you catch a cold, if you catch a bug, if you break some bones in your body or something like that. And finally, the last example I'm going to take are people who are obsessed with logic. Some people really look down on emotions and intuition. They're obsessed with logic. Everything must be demonstrated by research and studies and backed up by science. And they call themselves realist, Cartesian. They talk about common sense all the time. And even those people who look down on emotions, they're actually after a feeling. Because in order to end up being obsessed and addicted to logic, we must be first terrified by uncertainty. We must be terrified by the unknown, and so we can't have a flexible mind, and we need to have an illusion of control and understanding. And this is paradoxically and ironically what those people are after. The feeling of safety, the feeling of control. And so all that we ever wanted was those feelings, and yet we suffer precisely because we are looking in the wrong place. We have been tricked by society at large to look in the wrong place. We've been tricked to believe that feelings, emotions, and intuition don't matter. We must pursue happiness. We must tick boxes and fill up some bucket list in order to find happiness. And we are on a pursuit of superficiality, external validations, and trying to conform to the standards of society. We're looking in all the wrong places. And the more we do this, the further we get from our intuition, from our authenticity, from our potential, from becoming the person we're meant to be, and from living the life that we should be living, as opposed to living the life that we think we want to live. In other words, we can either chase happiness or we can be happy. Because the more we are pursuing happiness, the more we are confirming that we're not happy. Happiness exists and lives inside of us. And we all suffer from this in some capacity. I can give you a very extreme example. We all know about some actors and musicians who unalived themselves. They had everything going for them, and whenever it happened, we were all shocked. We were thinking, why did they do that? They were young, beautiful, talented, successful, and yet they decided to put an end to their lives. Why? Because they pursued the wrong thing. They pursued a life that they thought they wanted. They thought that fame and fortune would solve all of their problems. So they went on to create that for themselves. And eventually, as they reached their target, as they became famous and rich and adored by millions of fans, they felt terrible because they realized that they still felt empty. And to them, it was the end of the road because they had nowhere else to go. They thought that fame and fortune would solve all of their hurt, when in reality, what they really wanted was to be seen, was to be accepted, was to be loved for who they were. And sadly, more often than not, Hollywood stars and rock stars create a persona. So what it means is that no matter how many millions of fans they may have, they could never receive and feel that love, because that love was never directed at them. It was directed at the persona, at the character that they have manufactured. And so even though most of us will not have such a dramatic ending, we will all suffer from that illusion in some capacity. The illusion that we must have that life, instead of listening to our body, or emotions, or feelings, or intuition, and realize that this is what we want. This is what we really want. So now, how can we make that information useful? Here it goes. What we want to do is to reverse engine and to tap inside of us and to seek all of those happy memories, happy moments, positive feelings that exist inside of us. We can do it through meditation, through any type of self-reflective work. But what we want to do is to look inside of us and find in our past, in our memories, all of those magical moments when we were young, when we were a child, when we felt, this is magic, this is special. We want to remember and really feel those moments when we were touched by life, when we were inspired by life, when we knew that this was it, this is life, this is great, and I'm all here for that. And we all have tons of memories like that somewhere within our vast subconscious mind if we start to explore and look in the right places. And as we're exploring those memories and really absorbing, bathing into all that positive energy, that joy, that curiosity, that open-mindedness and open-heartedness, we are feeling better. We are feeling great. And we are reminded of what really matters to us. We're reminded of what really matters to us and of our power. It's there, it feels great, and it's so easy, it's just there. We don't need to look for it anywhere else but inside of us. And as we do this, we're going to not only feel better, but we're going to be able to think clearly, to see opportunities, luck, and optimism. We're going to be in a more open state. And the best thing about it is as we do all of those things, we're going to be also reminded that we are supported. All those moments of happiness from our young childhood, they just happened. We never thought about those things. We never prepared for it. We never expected them. We never did anything for happiness to happen. It just happened. Those moments, those feelings were just happenings, and we happened to be there. And we happened to be aligned and ready to receive and experience those feelings. And so remember that everything that you're looking for exists already in some ways and capacities inside of you. There are traces of them. We can't want something that we haven't felt already. But we have to start looking in the right places. We have to stop pursuing happiness outside and getting more lost and confused in the process. Happiness was always there for us, waiting for us to find it and to reactivate it. And as we reactivate it, we are becoming an expanded version of ourselves. And as we expand, we're going to attract and allow more good things in our lives, because as we expand how we feel, we're expanding who we are. And as we expand who we are, our reality will have to catch up and match our energy. It will have to match the quality and the level of our energy. Now, not everyone will be able to do this just like that, because we all have different start in life, different baggage, different situations, different priorities in life. And so if you are struggling with mental and emotional health problems, if you are struggling with some toxic environment, if you are still dealing with some unhealed wound and baggage, I would urge you to prioritize safety and healing. We only have two states. We can either survive or create. And so when we are in a survival mode, it's going to be impossible to create anything. But the good news is that as you heal, all of those memories will come back. It's all there. Nothing is ever lost. Your subconscious mind stores everything that ever happened to you for the whole of your life. And I know this because I see this with my clients every day. And I also have experienced it myself. Up to the age of 38, I couldn't remember a single happy memory from my childhood. I could only obsess over the hurtful, dark, painful, scary, and angry memories. But eventually, as I got better, memories just came back. And it's still happening to the day of today. I healed pretty much 15 years ago, and still, every now and then, out of nowhere, random happy memory hit me. It's like a flashback. And I'm like, gosh, this happened, and it's really, really special. And so ever since, I've been able to use those memories and those feelings to expand furthermore, and to expand also the quality of my life. And so can you. But you have to heal first. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, do subscribe, to my channel, please. If you believe that this could be helpful to some of your friends, do share away. And also know that I go live twice a week, every week on YouTube, every Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time until 8 p.m. So you can join and ask me anything about mental health, therapy, mindfulness, psychology, human behavior. Thank you for watching until the end. Please drop any comment in the comment section. And until next time, remember that everything that you want in this life can be found if you look in the right place. Stop seeking happiness outside. Start to focus inside and feel. And reconnect with all of those feelings of joy and potential and empowerment that exist already inside of you and that are waiting for you to be found and to be reactivated. Bye now.